Why be easy when you can just die?
Woo! I'm Chewy Mew, and welcome back to Venom Month, day number 16, where in the past video, we took a look at my custom black suit Spider-Man with a blue wash added to him. So go check out that other video. If things are according to plan, that video will actually be uploaded, at least in the US, on March 15th. Oh, one other thing I want to address really quick is that most of the figures I'm reviewing, I have been kind of sloppy with the times. Most of them have not gone up on the day they're supposed to. If you live in the UK, Australia, or basically anywhere outside of North and South America, then probably the time is always probably a day late for you. But keep in mind, in the US, I'm generally on time, sort of. The goal was to upload all of them at midnight my time, so they go up, right as the day starts, at least for my time zone, But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case. I've been doing kind of sloppy, and I've been behind on a couple days. So sometimes you get 2 uploads in one day just because I missed the one from the day before. But hopefully that will not be the case today, because I'm going to be reviewing a couple figures back to back. And the first one being the ToyBiz Along Came a Spider Wave Spider Carnage. So I did briefly take a look at this figure and when I unboxed it. Unfortunately, the paint is missing some. The paint is missing some eye. The eye is missing some paint on it. The web shooters here and there, a couple paint is chipping off, which that's okay. So yeah, I unboxed this guy before, and that got a pretty good amount of views. I did get like 2 dislikes, probably because people thought I was reviewing the figure, but I actually wasn't. Move the camera down, because he's in this hunched over position, which makes him look a bit shorter than he should. So I had an issue when I started buying these Along Came a Spider and Planet of the Symbiote Wave figures, because, I'm so used to 90s ToyBiz figures being about, 5 inches tall like this. These two are almost the same height, but you can see this guy's hunched over. You can tell he's a lot bigger. But looking at it in pictures, it's kind of hard to tell how big is he. Is he 5 inches? 5-inch scale? Is he 6-inch scale? So, it's kind of hard to tell how big is this figure, seeing pictures without seeing it in real life. And so, determining in real life, he is actually 6-inch scale. We can actually do some measuring here. Let's do some measuring here. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna measure. We're gonna straighten his legs out right here. He will be a little bit kind of his knees bent, kind of funny. I'm just gonna use this one because it's bent more. So from his knee to the top of his head, he is about he's 11 centimeters or 4.5 inches, and we're gonna measure from his knee to his ankle about right here. That is 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches. So combine that together, that is what, 16 centimeters, right? 16 or no 15. It's 15 centimeters. I'm tired, guys. So yeah, he's exactly 14 centimeters or 6 inches. So it doesn't quite look the part. So like right here where my finger's pinching, if we compare that to this guy, yeah, this guy is, oh wow, the magnet sticks to his foot. He's basically the 6-inch figure, like a 6-inch figure to the T, which I think is slightly too tall for Spider-Man, because he's not 6 feet tall. He's like 5'10", so he should be, I don't know, like barely under 6 inches. But yeah, so he is appropriately 6-inch scale, but his height matching Peter Parker's here makes sense because it's Ben Reilly. He's a clone of Peter. And you see these two, his shoulders are wider than Spider-Man's. His arms are bigger, more muscular and stuff. The legs are more muscular. My one only issue with the figure, other than the fact that he's hunched over, so it makes him look shorter. Like if he was I mean, this is a completely different figure, but if his legs were more kind of straightened out like this, it wouldn't, this is Riot, by the way, he wouldn't look as short, like because he's hunched over, so it looks kind of weird. My other complaint with it is his low articulation, but I don't care, to me that's okay, is his waist is so narrow. Like they could have just made the waist a little straighter, like the waist is a little too narrow right here. I wish they would have made it, wider, kind of like, like as wide as his waist, and the pelvis the same, but I don't know, to me that's the only issue, that his waist is a little too skinny. But when you have him crouched over in a pose like this, you don't really notice too much. But when you try to have him standing up as straight as possible with his arms out of the way, you do notice it. It's not a real big deal to me. That rhymes. I'm a poet, I didn't even know it. but yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. You may be thinking, dude, he looks really dark though. That's not very good. We'll get to that. So take a look at the face here. The face does look pretty good. The paint is kind of chipped right there. That's not an issue with the figure, that's just because it's old. If we take a look at the foot here, I think it's 1999. Yeah, 1999 Marvel Entertainment Incorporated. This one says China. Fun fact, he doesn't actually say ToyBiz. Not a fact. It's not a fun fact, it's just a fact. Like this one here, my first ever Spider-Man figure. Like the new version of it, basically. This one says Marvel Entertainment and ToyBiz Worldwide. This one just says Marvel Entertainment Incorporated, which, that's kind of weird. He wasn't called ToyBiz, but it is ToyBiz. But yeah, the face sculpt here, I think it looks really cool. The web lines are not really painted in on his costume here, which, I mean, they kind of are. It's hard to tell because he's really dark, but we'll get to that. It's really cool, though. I like that his neck is kind of sticking forward. They really committed to the whole hunched over. If he's hunched over thing, he'll be looking, you know, straight this way. Like I said, I'm kind of not a fan of the hunch over, but the face does look pretty good. The big white eyes, kind of like the vaguely sensational Spider-Man design of the eyes, like little curl going up there. You can see the curls on the head go all the way up here. Unfortunately, the paint is peeling, so it's hard to see it. I like the huge eyes, I like the sort of furrowed eyebrow. He looks kind of angry. Not eyebrows, like the forehead wrinkles, that he's angry looking. I like how the black outline of the mask actually connects to the mouth. Like the black part of the mouth is painted underneath. They actually sculpted the web lines right under his mouth right there, right under his jaw. This is it's the paint. Too bad the paint is peeling, so it's hard to exactly tell what I mean here. Focus. Come on, dude. Oh man, it's not focusing. Is it focusing? I think it is. Okay, there we go. You can see the red part of the mouth and the yellow part, which looks kind of weird because it looks like it should be deeper in, right? Like the yellow part should be deeper into his mouth. But you can see the black lines from like his mouth, I guess, which I guess are like teeth or symbiote slime going over the red part, which are his gums, I guess. It's really cool how they painted that. You can see the Ben Reilly Spider-Man logo here. You can see the Ben Reilly Spider logo sculpted on there and painted black. You can also see that if you line up these shoulders right, you can see the black legs of the spider actually wrap around his arm and go to the back. Where they do, I mean, you kind of have to finagle the arms a little bit to make them look like they connect. See the big, huge spider logo on the back, which looks really cool. Really cool spider logo. And then, you know, his costume, Ben Reilly's costume is blue. It's universally known that the blue parts of his costume are blue, but on the figure they made him black. And Spider Carnage kind of has this, he looks blue with like black shading on it, kind of like the Black Suit Spider-Man, where it's like, it's kind of hard to tell. It's black, but with a lot of blue shading on it. Kind of the opposite with Ben Reilly. It's a lot of black shading on a blue figure, you know, or blue costume. But I like how they didn't sculpt the web lines on the boots. They just left it these plain legs with a bunch of the symbiote goop wrapping up on them. Nicely black painted paint, because, spoilers, this figure is actually red. The entire figure mold is red. Which we'll get to that in a little bit. These claws look really cool too. Look at those claws. One thing they sculpted here, which is really cool, they sculpted the little nozzle on the web shooter. So they sculpted the web shooter because Ben Reilly's web shooters are on the outside. And then there's a little nozzle there where when he would shoot the web would come out through this little tip right there. That's really cool. It's really, really nice looking. His claws are good too. The fingers are kind of bent, but that's to be expected with how old this is. And also, this figure's what, I'm going to say 23 years old. At the end of this year, it'll be 24 years old. These claws look really good, too. You can see more of the like, symbiote ooze in it as well. Or, like, the tendrils. Same thing on the other hand. The web shooters are peeling paint. I might go and touch up the paint just to fix it and stuff. The other hand, these hands are actually not symmetrical. You can see his right arm is bent a little differently. Why am I doing that? Just put the camera back. You can see his right arm is a little bit longer looking than his left arm just because the way the elbow was bent. This one's bent a lot more 90 degrees. This one's less bent. And the claws are also not the exact same. They are, it's kind of hard to tell, but I don't think they're identical. Oh yeah, you can tell they're not identical because the patterns on the hands right here are actually different. That's really cool. The leg, like I said, it's just these very muscular toned legs with the Carnage symbiote, the tendrils wrapping around his legs here, and then the bright blue feet. That's really cool. As far as a base, does he stick onto a ToyBiz base? Here we go. This is a Hasbro re-release, but it's basically ToyBiz. Pretty sure he sticks. Yeah, he sticks to the base. You can only have 1 foot on these sort of smaller bases, but boom, there you go. And can you, this pin right here is kind of broken, so it might not. Yeah, the pin is broken there, so it doesn't really hold too good, but if you peg his foot in here. So yeah, he can use ToyBiz bases. It's kind of weird because the way the angle works. But yeah, you can have them displayed like that, or you could have them like this, or, you know, like that. But yeah, so if you do have them on a display base, if it's raised a little bit, like ever so slightly raised, like probably what, like maybe a centimeter raised off the ground, then his left foot is definitely really good because it's kind of bent down, so it looks like he's level now. Because when you have him standing like this and you put the foot down, he's kind of angled. When that would be straight up, that's kind of angled down, you know. I still think it looks really cool, and I'm going to quickly show something really cool, even cooler about the figure. Alright, so I got my other phone here. It's very, like, dirty looking on the screen. So I got my other phone here, and there's a cool thing that if I put my pinky finger on the fingerprint sensor, it turns on the flash. You can see there? Alright, so I'm going to turn off these lights. And then, so we're going to hold him. Oh, you can kind of already see it. And then you hold the flash to his body. You can see that he glows in the dark. I mean, he doesn't glow in the dark, but he lights up. I mean, he doesn't light up. You know what I mean? The figure looks illuminated when you put a light, because they use transparent plastic on him, which that looks really cool. You can see here on the legs there, the leg, on the head as well. That looks really cool. You know, he looks really cool like this. That's a very cool thing. I just wish they would have made the plastic lighter so he doesn't, because it's hard to even see the detail on him unless you have these bright lights here. Like if I have this light off, you can't even really tell. I have to have both of these lights on for you to be able to notice. But yeah, and then I can hold him up to this lamp right here. My dogs are barking because my mom's home, but I want to finish this really quick. But yeah, so that's a really cool thing. Unfortunately, it's so hard to actually tell. But yeah, so last but not least, let's take a look at the posability here. So you can rotate the head all the way around. The arms go all the way around here. They do on both. They get kind of stuck to the legs, but you can go all the way around. You can rotate the wrists here with the cool web shooter thing on them. Rotate the waist here as well. The legs kick up. They actually go all the way back too. That's pretty cool. And then they both kick forward. You could have them kind of sitting down, you know, like on a, here we go. Look at this. You can have them sitting here. Boom. There you go. Have them sitting down. But yeah, but either way, that's all for this video. I think this figure looks really cool. Like I said, I just wish he was standing up a bit straighter, a little less hunched over. At least if his legs were a little straighter up, you know, like if he was standing up like this. But either way, that's all for this video. Let me know what you think about this figure, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Wow.